Howdy, y'all. My name is Joshua Ben. I'm a attorney here in town, and I've been asked to speak for a few minutes about the Hope and Hope series that Brazos Valley puts on, and also to talk a little bit about Guardianship, one of the programs that is anticipated for Help and Hope in the upcoming year is talking about guardianship and how that can be used to help folks that might have mental illness. And so we're going to give a little preview about that. But first, I just wanted to say on a personal note that I'm excited to be here for NAMI Walks and everything that's going on today. My wife and I, Melissa Ben, have been involved with NAMI for several years now. I was on the board of directors at one point. She's on the board of directors right now, and we see the what it does in our community and how it helps people. And it helps individuals who sometimes desperately need help. So if y'all can support the organization in any way you can, it'd be great. Up until I believe December 10th, donations are being taken, and they'll be put to good use, I can promise. The Help and Hope series that NAMI Brazos Valley does deals with it's a series of different presentations or lectures about issues that affect those with mental illness and their families, and how you can help those with mental illness and provide hope. One of the things that we offer is a presentation on guardianship, which I'll do, but wanted again kind of talk today a little bit about that process and what that means, because people hear about guardianship all the time, but what does it really mean? What I tell clients is, on a very basic level, a guardianship is akin to a parent-child relationship, where in a guardianship proceeding, someone, because of their mental illness, no longer has the capacity to make healthy decisions for themselves. Not even really to make, from a legal standpoint, not even to make healthy decisions, but they lack the capacity to make just decisions for themselves. So what does that mean? A lot of times people who have a family member that has a mental illness will think, what can I do to help them? Because of their mental illness, they aren't making smart or good decisions when it comes to their medical decisions, following up with their doctor, potentially taking medications and so forth. They also might be unable to handle their finances, to be in legal issues that they can't handle because of that particular mental illness. And so a guardianship allows somebody, typically it's a family member, but it could be a friend. In some cases, it could be the state of Texas itself, to come in and to say, this person, because of their illness, at this point no longer has the capacity to make those decisions, to handle those matters for themselves. And so we're going to take away their right to make those decisions and give it to that family member, give it to that friend. So I want to back up for 1 second, because again, that's a big deal. That is taking away the rights of an adult to make their own decisions. And so one of the things that the law requires, and one of the things that I hope everybody tries to do before they move forward with a guardianship, is to do what are called less restrictive alternatives, or to use supports and services. So if you go see an attorney, for instance, the first thing that they're going to do is talk to you about other alternatives. Can we accomplish the same goals? Can we help this person with things such as supported decision-making agreements, powers of attorney, joint bank accounts, so forth and so on? Because again, personally and also legally, before you take away somebody's rights to handle things, we need to try these alternatives. But sometimes those things don't work. Sometimes powers of attorney, because they don't take away the rights of someone to make their own decisions, aren't effective. Sometimes supported decision-making agreements are entered into and then they're withdrawn. Sometimes a joint bank account means that that person who can't handle their finances is still withdrawing all their money. So what do you do? In that particular case, you may have to initiate a guardianship proceeding. And we'll, during the Help and Hope series that NAMI Brazos Valley puts on, we'll go into a lot more detail about this. But at a very short level, what that means is that you file an application with the court, usually with the help of an attorney, but you file an application with one of our courts to say, this person needs a guardian, this person needs somebody to make decisions for them, and I or somebody else needs to be that guardian or qualified to be that guardian, not disqualified, so forth and so on. And so that, we hate to use this terminology, but to a great extent, that application for guardianship is a lawsuit. So it's a court proceeding. And once it's filed, the person you're trying to get guardianship over gets served with it. They get a copy of it saying, hey, this person is now trying to create a guardianship for me. And that scares a lot of people, because a lot of people, friends and family say, well, I don't want to upset them. I don't want to create more problems in the family. And that's one of the things that when we sit down and talk, we talk about is, again, if you have to do a guardianship to protect somebody, then you're going to run that risk of alienating them, creating animosity. So it needs to be worth it. But once that's done, they get served with a copy of the guardianship application. The court will actually appoint an attorney to represent them. Again, the laws in the state of Texas, again, say this is a big deal. We are taking away somebody's rights to make their own decisions. So they get an attorney appointed for them. Potentially another person called a guardian ad litem is appointed for them to look out for their best interest. And a doctor or multiple doctors are involved through a process that we call a physician certificate or certificate of medical exam, where the doctor gives their opinion about what capacity issues the person may have and what they need a guardian for. Because a guardianship has to be as less restrictive as possible. Again, it has to leave as many rights as possible with the person that you're trying to get the guardianship for. So in some cases, you may have a guardianship just over their finances. In other cases, you may have a guardianship just over their medical decisions. You may have a guardianship just over where they're going to live. And so one of the jobs of all the attorneys involved, one of the jobs is for you as the applicant for guardianship, one of the jobs of the court is to make sure that that guardianship is being crafted to be as less restrictive as possible, and for the person with mental illness, for them to retain as many of their rights as possible. Once that application is filed, once the attorney ad litem has been appointed, there will be a hearing. And at that hearing, the judge will decide, is a guardianship necessary? How is it going to be worded? And who's going to be the guardian? At that point, if you are appointed as their guardian, you will then have the legal right to make decisions for the person you've created the guardianship for. And so if they say, no, I don't want to go to the doctor, you can say, yes, you're going to go to the doctor. No, I don't want to live here. Yes, you are going to live here. You can take control of bank accounts to make sure that their money is being spent wisely. And the court is overseeing all of this. And that's one of the best parts of it is it's not just you as the guardian who's making all these decisions. It's not just you as the guardian who can do whatever you want. It's got to be in the best interest of the individual the guardianship is created for, and the court's overseeing that to make sure that everything is done correctly. And here's another thing that I always like to remind people, especially when we're dealing with guardianships for folks that might have a mental illness, is a guardianship does not have to be forever. A guardianship can be either temporary for a very short period of time to accomplish a particular goal, or at any point that guardianship could go away and all the rights could be restored to the person the guardianship was created for. And that's always the goal. The goal is always to help people and then get them back to where they can make their own decisions, they can be in control of their own finances, and that's what we all hope for. So that is a very short overview again of guardianship, and I would just ask you please to follow the NAMI Brazos Valley page. to see when we're going to have that presentation on guardianship. If you have any questions, you can come to that. I don't know if it's going to be on Zoom or however it's going to be, but you'll have the opportunity to ask questions, and we'll go into a lot more in-depth discussion. But in the meantime, again, today is NAMI Walk supporting NAMI Brazos Valley, and any help you can give for the support groups, for the Help and Hope series, for all the resources that NAMI Brazos Valley offers to people here in our community. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So, Josh, just to clarify, where can folks reach out to you if they have questions in the meantime?
If anyone has any questions, one of the things that my and my wife's law firm does is we do a initial consultation for $80, where we can sit down and talk to you about all this in greater detail, let you know what you're looking at as far as the process, or just answer any questions you might have about some of these alternatives to guardianship. And so we offer that, just kind of as a, again, there's an $80 fee, but we truly want to try to help people and help the family members of those who might suffer from mental illness. And so you can give us a call. Our website is mytexaslawyer.net, and we'd be happy to help out.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.